Yes, the recording has started. So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to this class. Welcome to How to Discipline Children in This Generation. You're welcome. Welcome to the Strategic Parent Academy. My name is Olamide, and I am the founder of TSP Academy and also the lead coach. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome to today's class. So, at TSP Academy, we believe that parenting. Wait, am I? Before I start, please, can you hear me? Let me be sure that everyone can hear me. Please, can you hear me? Please let me know if you can hear me in the comments before I start. Let me be sure. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes, you're welcome. So we believe that parenting begins with you. That means that you cannot give what you do not have. That is what we believe at TSP Academy. You want to teach a child how to be honest. If you don't show honesty, there is no way your child will learn honesty. So that is what we believe at TSP Academy. We believe that parenting begins with you. Before you can teach your children the right skills, you also need to have acquired the right skills so that you can effectively impact it to your children. At TSP, our vision is to empower parents to build a strong bond and relationship with their children while creating a safe home. We want you to connect with your children as much as you are trying to correct them. We want you to also build that connection with them as they are growing. And I'm sure that some of us grew up in homes where some of our parents, mostly fathers, were not close with us when we were younger. And now that we are older, we find them calling, and you're wondering, why is my parent calling me frequently? We don't have this relationship, we don't have this bond. So that is it. We want you to build that connection with them now that they are young, as they are growing, and also correct them. As you are building the connection, you're also correcting them. Okay. I'm so excited to be here with you today. And today, parenting is way different than it was with our parents. It is different now. It is different. In this world now, we are raising children where there are screens everywhere. There's information at their fingertips. There's no information that your child needs that they cannot find on the internet. Yes. And it is better for you to be the one. I believe in the knowledge of you giving to them first, you telling them about it first before they learn it outside. And so we have, there's peer pressure everywhere. Peer pressure is not just at home now. There's peer pressure online, on social media, on TikTok, everywhere. Peer pressure is just following them. So the generation we have now is different from the generation we grew up with. We didn't have access to the internet. Now we have digital natives. These children were born with the knowledge of technology. Whether we have given them access to phones or not, they were born with it. So when we hear the word discipline, positive discipline, sometimes it stirs a lot of emotions. When I made an advert for this class, I had people coming to my DM telling me that, oh, are you saying that we shouldn't discipline our children? Are you saying that we should raise children that are spoiled? No, no, no. I know you have some questions in your mind. You're like, what does this lady want to talk about? Is she saying we shouldn't discipline our children? I get it. But I'm saying that discipline is not punishment. Yes, discipline is not punishment. Discipline is not punishment. And we over here, we are not raising spoiled children. No, we are also raising disciplined, well-disciplined children. So I have a rule or a plan. When I'm 40 years old, I will stop cooking every day, or cooking generally. I would start cooking maybe once in 2 weeks, or once in 3 weeks, or once in a month. And I'm sure you're thinking, if you stop cooking, who will be the person cooking at home? Of course, my children. I have created a plan where when I'm 40, I am going to stop cooking in the house and hand over to my children. So how do I hand over if I don't teach them? So I have started planning it now. 40 is a few years to come, but I've planned it now, and we are taking it one step at a time. So if I don't discipline them, how do I raise children that will take care of the kitchen? So yes, we will discipline our children, but I just want us to know that discipline is not an emergency. Discipline is not something that, oh, now you want that obedience. Now. And most of us, that is why we often resort to punishing our children. We want them to do that thing now. We want them to learn it immediately. So it is different. So tonight we are going to learn that discipline is about teaching children the importance of rules, not just punishing them. You are teaching them why the rules are important. You are answering their question about why. The children we have now, they always want to know, Mommy, why this? Daddy, why are we doing this? Why? So you are here to offer them answers to their why, to explain the importance of rules. I mean, you don't have to resort to physical punishments to make a child understand. There are strategies that work, that can achieve the same results while also strengthening your bond with your children. That means as much as you are correcting them, you are also connecting with them. And the goal is to help children to learn to make good choices. We want them to learn how to make good choices, not just to obey us out of fear of getting caught. That means we have taught them the right skills. We have taught them different skills that would help them make good choices. And they will not just do things because, I don't want mommy to be angry. I don't want daddy to be angry. I don't want daddy to see me. But they will know that they are making that choice by themselves. And we've taught them to understand that every choice that they make has its own consequences. So they understand that every choice they make has its own consequences. Discipline should guide your children and should shape them, not control them. Yes. So we're going to look at the prefrontal cortex. This is the part of the brain that helps with self-control, decision-making, and understanding consequences. It helps children to understand consequences, self-control, and decision-making. And for children, it is still developing, and it will not fully mature until they are in their mid-20s. That means that when you ask your child to do something and you find yourself repeating it, we need to understand that they are still learning. Their brain is still learning. So sometimes they will forget. Sometimes they may not entirely pay attention. We just need to give them that grace. Give them the grace that they will make mistakes. And we need to let them understand that mistakes are part of learning. And I think most parents, we try to avoid our children making mistakes. We don't want them to make mistakes. We are trying to stop them from making mistakes. But no, if we want to raise resilient children, we need to let them make mistakes and learn from their own mistakes. Some children struggle with impulse control because of the prefrontal cortex, because it's still growing. They don't know how to curb their urges. So as parents, when we want to give them discipline, when we want to discipline them, we need to understand that they are still growing and they will make mistakes. Even adults, we make mistakes. And sometimes we just expect perfection from children. I mean, we are not perfect. We as adults, we are also not perfect. So we should give our children graces that they will make mistakes. And these mistakes are part of their learning process. Yes. So we need to give them grace and let them understand that there are consequences for their choices. So what does discipline mean in this generation? Discipline in today's world is no longer about control, fear, or blind obedience. It is about teaching, guiding, and connecting. Most of us grew up in home where discipline meant control. Discipline meant punishment. That is what we saw. That is what we saw while growing up. That is what we experienced. So when we say that you can discipline your children without punishment, it's sounding like, what's this person saying? Do they know what they are saying? No, 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 no. But yes, I mean, we grew up in home where do as I say. This is what I say. You must do it. Where daddy is saying, yes, this is what you must do. But times has changed. It has changed. Remember that when we were younger, when our children give us I said when our parents give us eye, when they cut eye for us, you already know what the definition of each eye cutting. You already know what it means. You will comport yourself and behave yourself. But children in this generation, I'm sorry, they do not understand cutting of eye. So I have an almost 4-year-old toddler. And when you cut eye for her, she'll be like, Mommy, why are you winking at me? I don't understand. What are you saying? So you need to explain. You say, Mommy, speak with your mouth. What are you saying? So parenting in this generation is totally different. That's why we need to learn the skills to help parent them effectively. And discipline is about teaching them, how to make better choices, not just forcing them to obey. I mean, if a child is shouting, instead of just saying, stop crying right now, I mean, you need to say, you need to make them understand that you understand their emotions. Let them express their emotions. Can say, oh, I see you are upset. Take a deep breath and tell me what is wrong, and let us find a solution together. So there's one thing I tell my daughter and say, if you don't communicate with me, if you don't speak what is wrong with you, I will not be able to know what is wrong with you and help you. So you need to be able to speak to me so that I can help you. So true discipline is about building character, not just obedience. You are building their character. You are developing different skills in them, and you are building them small. So you are bringing them. It's not just about, I want you to sit down now. Sit down. Yes, sit down now. No. For instance, maybe you want your child to lay the bed. And you're like, yes, I need to get up right now, lay the bed right now. Come on, calm down, Mommy. Calm down, Daddy. Just calm down. Because sometimes, even we as adults, when someone sends you on an errand, you do not want to stand up immediately. You want to take some time to process yourself. So, I mean, give the children, give them chances. So what I would usually do for my son is, maybe if I want him to lay the bed in, let's say in the next 5 minutes, I'll be like, okay, you need to lay your bed. Would you like to lay it now, or in 3 minutes time, or in 5 minutes time? I'm giving him chances to make choices. I want him to make his own choice and feel like, okay, Mommy is not just forcing me. It is my responsibility. I'm like, okay, Mommy, I would wait 3 minutes and I'll go and lay it. What's the end result? I want him to lay the bed. So I can wait for 3 minutes. No problem. Just go. Make your decision and go and lay the bed. So what happens when you control your child using fear? This old school method doesn't work again, because I said so. If you don't listen to me, I will make you listen. I brought you into this world. I've had a parent say to a child that I brought you into this world and I can take you out. That is too extreme. Too extreme. I understand that maybe children can make you want to lose your temper, but you need to be able to control your emotions and watch what you say to your children. Yes. So what happens when you control your child using fear? Short-term obedience, but no real learning. They will obey you instantly when you begin to use fear. Oh, daddy is here. Everybody's running around. Papa, we don't want daddy to see us. They are doing it because they don't want daddy to get angry. They are doing it because they are scared of the consequence. They are not doing it because they know that it is their responsibility. That's the difference between positive discipline. You are teaching them their responsibility. You are teaching them to understand what their responsibility is. You are not just using fear and say, oh, I want you to do it immediately. No, it's different. Children follow rules out of fear, not because they understand. Yes, when they follow rules out of fear, it's not because they understand. They don't understand, but they are doing it because they don't want you to be angry. It's not that they understand the right or the wrong, why this thing is important. They are doing it because we don't want mommy to get angry. We don't want daddy to beat us. Number two is difficulty in expressing emotions. Yes, fear will make children suppress their feelings instead of handling them in a healthy way. When you keep using fear to your children, you will see that they will not come to you when they are feeling different type of emotions. And sometimes we have made our children understand that anger is a bad emotion. No, I tell my children that all emotions are allowed. You are allowed to feel all type of emotions, but what is not allowed is the behavior. So when you feel your emotions, what you need to be able to know how to manage your emotions so that you will watch the behavior. You will know the behavior that is expected of you, the behavior that aligns with our family value. So we need to be able to, reduce the fear and let our children express themselves. You'll be like, oh, he doesn't talk to me at home. Oh, my child doesn't talk to me. Why would they talk to you? Before they even come, you're already doing, yes. What do you want? What do you want? Mommy. How would they express themselves if you don't give them the chance, if you don't listen to them? And number three is low self-esteem. Children will start to believe that they are bad. Maybe when they do something, you are becoming a bad boy. You are becoming a bad boy. That word, we get into them and they'll be like, okay, maybe I'm just a bad child. And instead of them seeing their mistakes as learning opportunity, they will begin to doubt themselves. They will feel like they are not worthy of good things, and they become afraid. When you raise your children in fear, they become afraid to make their own decision because they don't know what to expect from you. They don't know when mommy is happy. They don't know when daddy is happy. They don't even know. Your children will not be watching you. Is mommy mood good today? Is mommy bad? Is mommy mood bad today? Let me know what I want to say. If you raise your children in that kind of environment, it will be hard for them to open up. That's why when they now grow up, it will not be hard for them to open up to you. Like I always tell parents in the tribe that you will do the time. Is it that you do the time now? Do you sacrifice yourself and make the time to build the connection with your children now? Or you do the time later when your children don't need you, when you will give them opinions, when you will give them suggestions and they're like, what's she saying? Either way, you will still do that time. You will still do that time of connection. You will do it. So why not just do it now? They are still under you and they can still listen to your suggestion. Create a safe home for your children so that they can grow confidence. If they grow confident, they will not be able to rely on other people for approval. But if you raise them in fear, they will be waiting for other people's approval. They will not be able to challenge themselves because they don't know the opinion of other people. They are worried whether, will mommy like if I do this? Will mommy do this? Will daddy? They are more worried about you than them learning from their own mistake. And as parents, none of these outcomes are what we should want. We should not want our children to be scared to speak to us. We should not want them to be hiding and be checking, hey, is mommy emotion good? Is mommy good today? Is she in a good mood today? And we need to create a safe home for our children. We need to create a safe environment for them. We should not just strive to raise obedient children. We should raise emotionally healthy, responsible, and independent adults. Let's say, for instance, your teenager comes home late. Instead of beating them, threatening to punish them, let them learn responsibility. Let them know if they have done it before. Prior to now, your teenager should know the rules. Your house, you should have family values that your family goes by. But let's say that, maybe you've not stated it for your children, and maybe your teenager comes home late, let them understand natural consequence. Let them understand that you will lose trust in them if they keep acting like this. And work together with them to create better boundaries. Let them know the time that is expected for them to come home. Let them know what is expected. And, give consequences that match the offense. Don't just give extreme consequences. Give consequences that match the offense. Even if you are grounding them and say, oh, you will not be you'll not be staying out late for 1 month, let them understand the importance of not staying out late. Why they shouldn't stay out late as your family member, why it is important for even how young they are, why they shouldn't stay outside. Let them learn the importance. Yes, dangers in this generation. And number one on our list is social media influence. I'm sure that when you look at TikTok, you will see some teenagers and you are wondering, you are shaking your head like, hey, do these people have parents at home? Do they have mothers at home? Children are growing up in a world where strangers on the internet have more influence on them. They have influence on their choices. So if you do not stay connected to your children, if you are all about punishing, there is no way you'll be able to guide them right. There are some children that they have access to, you've not given them phone. Their parents have not given them phone, but they still have access to social media behind their parents. I mean, they've obeyed you. You've not given them phone. They are not disturbing you. Okay, no problem. They will come home, they will act all good and, but when they get back to school, they're on social media, they're dancing and you're not even there. They've blocked you. They know your social media, they've blocked you. You cannot even see them. They are obeying you. In your mind, you think, oh, my children are obedient. But you need to create a safe home for your children. Let them understand. When you let children understand the dangers of internet, when you let them understand when they would come online, when they would have access to internet, what they're supposed to do with internet, it is better than for them to learn it outside. Because if you don't stay connected to your children, TikTok, Instagram, Google, Facebook, everything, they will fill in the gap for you. They will fill in the gap for you. So last 2 weekends, I have a 7-year-old son, and he came to me and he asked that, Mommy, what is same-sex marriage? I know that for some of us, if we hear something like this, you're like, hey, where did you learn this? You are just 7-year-old. Who taught you? But because we've spoken about this before, but we just didn't go deep. And I was in the middle of, I was walking. I had to drop my phone and move closer and said, okay. I answered his question. He had lots of questions to ask. I answered him. I answered what was important. I reminded him what was important for us in our family. I reminded him our family values, what the Holy Book said about it. I explained. He had lots of questions to ask, and I explained. And later on, I didn't ask him immediately that, who taught you that? Why are you asking this question? Because I know that he has heard something or he has seen something. That is what is making him ask us. But if I had said, oh, why are you asking this? Where did you learn this from? He might withdraw back and not ask more questions that he wanted to ask. But I didn't ask that. I made sure that I answered all his questions. And later on, after some time, I asked, oh, did you see something different that made you want to ask this? And then I learned that it was taught in school about same-sex marriage and the likes and everything. And maybe the teacher probably didn't explain deep as I would have. That's what made him came back home. So imagine that I did not create a safe home or a safe environment for him to come, for him to know that any question, my mommy will answer me. My daddy will answer me. He would have bottled that question in him and probably go outside and ask maybe a child who, maybe is a teenager that gave the answer to the child, now come to school and start teaching everybody. If we do not create that connection with our children, what we do not want them to learn, they will learn it. They will learn it. Discipline is beyond, I don't take nonsense. I don't take nonsense. Of course, you shouldn't take nonsense as a parent. Yes, I know you shouldn't take nonsense, but then you need to cut the children some slack, give them some graces, build connection with them. The next one is peer pressure. Peer pressure is getting stronger than ever. Peer pressure is no longer in school anymore. Even there are different gaming platforms that have some things that children shouldn't even be saying. There's a lot now. There is a lot now. And if we do not build that connection with our children, we will lose that bond. We will lose that bond with them. Yes, we want to discipline. Yes, we need to discipline. We need to make children understand consequences. We need to make them understand what is right and what is wrong. But also, we need to create that safe space. Number 3 is mental health struggle. I mean, there's anxiety, depression, self-esteem issue. They're skyrocketing because children are constantly comparing themselves to unrealistic standard online, because that is what they're saying. A 13-year-old might feel like they are failing at life just because their Instagram is filled with maybe their classmates showing off vacations, new clothes. I mean, showing off their perfect lives while they are just sitting at home feeling left out. There is a lot of danger in this generation that makes it different from our generation. That is why we need to equip ourselves with different skills to help our children thrive in this generation. We need to help them thrive. There's a lot going on, a lot that we didn't even experience. So if we don't strive to learn, there is no way we'll be able to parent effectively in this generation. That is why we need to strive to learn. So how do we discipline in this generation? I know that is what brought most of us here. How do I discipline my children? We are all about discipline. Okay. 1, move from punishment to teaching. Yes. Many of us were raised with belief that punishment means learning. We think that if you don't punish a child, hey, a child will not learn. But here's the truth. Punishment often teaches children to be sneaky, not responsible, because they do not want to get caught. They do not want you to catch them doing something bad. So they know that, okay, if you do this, mom is going to beat you. If you do this, they will find a way to be sneaky about it, or probably lie. I mean, I remember a parent was consulting with me in December, and a 13-year-old son kept on lying about his homework. I mean, she would ask him, have you done homework? And he'd be like, yes, mommy, I've done it. And later she would find out that he didn't do the homework. I mean, she would sometimes take away his PlayStation for weeks. And you know what? He just got better at lying. He knows that if mommy sees this, she will know this. So he will just look for different method. And children brain, when it comes to lying, they are not processing lying the way we process lying. They are processing lying like as an escape. Lying is an escape for them. Their brain is thinking, oh, how do I escape from this? How do I escape from this? So the next thing is to move on to lying. So when we work together, she understands that teaching responsibility is important instead of just punishing the child for the mistake. She learns to say to the child that, oh, your grades belong to you. The grades belong to the child, not to the parent. So if you don't finish your work, you will explain to your teacher, to me, why you made that choice. When you let children understand that every choice that they make has its own responsibility, its own consequences, you are teaching them responsibility. You are making them understand that they are responsible for the choices that they make. Our own is to guide them and teach them the right skills that they need to make good choices. Of course, they will make mistakes. Children will make mistakes. When we give children ownership of their actions instead of just punishing them, they will start to think for themselves. That's how we raise intelligent children. They will start to think for them rather than just obeying you to avoid consequences. You are making them understand the consequences of their actions. Instead of you just saying, go to your room, you are grinded. Talk to them. Tell them that, let us talk about what happened. This is what happened. What do you think you should do better so that this thing doesn't happen? And if the child doesn't know, that's where you come in. You guide the child. This is what you should do next time. Sometimes we give instructions thinking that my child should understand. You should know that we don't lie in this house. You should know that no, lying is not. What we did is, we have family values in our house. Parents in the tribe understand that family value is important to us at TSP Academy. So we have family values, and our family values is printed in the house where they can see it and read it. So they understand why is lying not part of us. They understand why we do not lie. They understand why honesty is important for us. We've explained it. So of course there will be situations that would happen, but you'll be able to bring the child back and explain and remind them what the values are. Ask them what they think. Before you give them the solution to whatever their problem is, ask them that what do they think they need to do better. These children, they know sometimes. So let them just give them that sense of ownership, that sense of belonging. Let them make decisions. Let them have input in the family. We have family meetings in my house twice monthly. And during the family meetings, most times we let our children take the lead. They take turns. Everybody have what they want to talk about. And during the family meeting, that's where my husband and I note down the skills that we need to teach. And sometimes we can teach one skill for 6 months. If we notice that maybe they are not taking their responsibility serious, we are teaching responsibility as a skill for the next maybe 3 months or 4 months. Whatever we do, we will make practical examples that surround teaching responsibility as a skill. Number 2, how to discipline children this generation is set clear boundaries. Children need boundaries. They need to know what is expected of them and what happens when they cross the line. Yes. But what is important is how you enforce this discipline. If you go to my children's room, we have different papers printed, pasted on their walls, just for them to keep seeing it. They know things that are expected of them. We have a routine. When they wake up in the morning, what they are supposed to do. When they come back from school, the goal is not about how perfect it should be. The goal is not about them following it through perfectly, but the goal is that they understand they know what is expected of them. That is the goal. They know that, okay, this is what is expected of me. When you say that if you don't clean, instead of just saying, oh, if you don't clean your room, no TV for a week, let them understand that you need to clean your room before dinner. If you don't do it, this is the consequences. Make the consequences together. This is the consequences. You have to skip maybe screen time until you finish cleaning your room. So my children have access to TV, tablets twice every week. That is Fridays and Saturdays. 1 hour on TV each person and 30 minutes on tablets every Fridays and Saturdays. They already know. They know, they look forward to TV. Today's TV day. They look forward to it. But they know that before you can watch the TV or tablets, you need to finish your chores. You need to do your homework. They know everything that is expected of them because we didn't just assume that they will know. We spoke with them. We had meeting and we talked about it. They understood why it is important to do this. Yes, screen time. I know that most of us, we just give our children, just have the tablets. Let me rest. Let me have some break. Okay. Parents in the tribe know better. Okay, we know that. We don't do that for our children. Instead of you giving them screen time every time. Look for games. There are different games that you can give your children that would, occupy their time. There are Legos, puzzles, arts and crafts. It will keep them busy. And Legos and puzzles will help their cognitive skills. So about setting clear boundaries. There was a particular time my son would forget his, maybe there's this joke card. There's this joke card I give him every day to school. And he likes the jokes. It's mostly about animals. He likes animals. So his friends in school look forward to that joke card. And he kept forgetting. Today maybe he forgot his pen, his pencil, his water bottle. And we spoke about it. We made a list, a to-do list. I asked him to make to-do list of items that he is supposed to take to school and items that he is supposed to bring back home. He made the list. So when he's going to school in the morning, he's supposed to check, okay, do I have my bag here? Do I have my pen? Do I have my homework here? Okay, then he keeps the to-do list in his bag. Then when he's coming back from school, okay, am I with my lunchbox? Am I with my this? He's supposed to check. But of course, sometimes mistakes happen and he would forget sometimes, and we had to set a consequence. And the consequence is that you would not take any day you forget anything in school, any of your property in school, you will not take a joke card to school the next day. That's a natural consequence. You understand that? Okay, I need to be responsible for my belongings. If I do not take care of my belongings, that means I won't be trusted with other things. He understood. I didn't need to shout. I didn't need to probably beat him. I didn't need to stress myself. That was just it. And he knows that, okay. And of course, he has forgotten like about twice this term. And he'll be like, okay, mommy, I forgot this. Okay, I know there'll be no joke card school tomorrow. My friends are looking forward to it. I will not forget again. I will go and check my to-do list. I will check my to-do list. It's just for him to know that he's responsible. He's also responsible for his actions. So whatever choices he makes, he understands that there are consequences for it. Number 3, reward positive behavior. Yes. Not all discipline has to come from correction. Sometimes the best learning happens when we recognize and celebrate our children's positive choices. I mean, don't just be focusing on only the bad things. They don't clean their room. They don't sweep their room. There will always be one good thing that your child does. Try to focus on that particular thing. Focus on their efforts. Encourage them and let them understand that this is the particular behavior you want to see in them. So sometimes if my son does something for his little sister, I'm like, oh, that is so kind of you for helping your sister tie her shoelaces. That's very kind of you. I mean, this is an example of being kind. That's also another opportunity for me to even teach him about what kindness means. That's it. When you praise that behavior, they already understand that, oh, this behavior is something my parents likes to see. It's something that is even good for me. It's something that is part of our family value. There are days that, when he doesn't forget anything in school, like, oh, mommy, I did not forget anything in school today. I'm like, oh, that is good for you. This is how you should be responsible for your properties. Reward their positive behavior. Reward it. If it is, you can give like a sticker chart. You can give maybe a special handshake when they do something right, or maybe a special meal for whatever they do right. So I worked with a parent, and we plan that she anytime our child does, she's worried about our child not taking responsibility, cleaning the room, the bed and everything. And when we spoke, we talked about giving maybe stickers. So what she do is, if anytime the child lays his bed, cleans a room, she gives a sticker. The child has the sticker. So when it comes to weekends or whenever they're having their TV time, she would say like, on Saturday, if you have like 5 good stickers, you have extra 10 minutes for your TV time. You're already passing a message. The child already understand. It's not until you shout, until you start, thinking about until you start eating the child. This is showing your child that good behavior is noticed and appreciated. This is the kind of behavior you should do. Sometimes we assume that our children knows, but no, they need you to consistently repeat it to them that, oh, this is the good behavior that is expected of you. Rewarding positive behavior, whether through verbal praise, privileges, or maybe fun activity, help your children to understand that making good choices has its own natural rewards. I mean, which is very powerful. Think about it. I want us to think about it. How often do we call out our children when they make good choices versus when they make bad, when they do bad things that we don't want them to do? How often do you praise them? Think about it. Think about it. How often do how often do you praise them when you catch them doing something good? Number 4 is validate their feelings. Yes, before correcting their behavior, when children, let them understand that, before they do something, there is always an emotion behind that behavior. Yes, there is always an emotion behind their behavior. So you need to validate the emotions for them. Instead of just saying, oh, is that why you're crying? Stop crying now. It's not a big deal. Ask them, I know you are upset, but can you tell me what is going on with you? Last week, my son came home looking so upset. And, I asked him what was wrong. And he was like, nothing. And I could have just brushed outside and say, oh, go and do what you're supposed to do, But I sat down with him and I was asking him what happened. And, it was like, okay, he said what he shouldn't say to his friend in school, and his friend got angry. And, it's easy to say, is that why you're not feeling sad? And you too, why did you not say something that you're not supposed to say? Sometimes we sometimes say things we shouldn't say. So, it's allowed. It doesn't make it right, but we do it sometimes. So, I sat down with him and I didn't give him any solution. I just sat down and listened to what he wanted to say. I just wanted him to know that I was listening to him. Then I asked him that, oh, what is he going to do? What is he going to do? And he was like, okay, he was going to write an apology letter to his friend. He apologized for what he said. And, after we spoke, his mood was lifted just because I sat down to listen to him. His mood was lifted. The next one is model the behavior you want to see. Yes. Children learn from us, from what they see, than what we say to them. Yes. Have you catched any of your child say something that you have said before, to maybe when they are playing with themselves and you just hear them say that and you're like, wow, when did you pick this? Yes, children learn from our behavior more than what we say. They learn. If you want them to learn how to manage their emotions when they are angry or when they are frustrated, show them. When you are angry or frustrated, let them know that, oh, mommy's angry, mommy's a bit frustrated, mommy needs some time to calm down, daddy needs some time to get over it, Show them that this is how, when you're angry. And okay, another thing is, when during our family meetings, we usually role play. There's something we call role playing. We act out scenarios just to be able to teach that particular skills. You say, okay, imagine this, and so you're now doing like this. So what would you do in that situation? This is what is expected of you. We act out scenarios so that they can understand what is expected of them. The last one is create open communication. Yes. If you want children to listen to you, they also need to feel safe talking to you. They need to know that you are a safe space for them. They need to know that, okay, my mom is going to listen to me. My dad is going to listen to me. Even though if I'm wrong, they will scold me, but then they will listen to me. When your child makes a mistake, let's say maybe spills water or any mistake at all, what is usually your first reaction? How do you react to them? Do you react in anger? How could you? How could you do this? You shouldn't have done this. If you keep saying this, they will learn to hide things from you. Yes. So when your children make mistakes, you need to first calm down and watch how you react. What is your first reaction? Your first reaction will determine whether they will come back to you or whether they will go outside to other people that will listen to them. So what is usually when your child says, "Oh, mommy, I want to tell you something." "Oh, you have come again. You have come again. You like to talk. You like to talk." Okay. So what is usually your first reaction? Parenting is about building a connection before society connects with them first. You build the connection with them, the discipline you want them to have, the behaviors you want them to learn, the skills you want them to learn. You have to build it first before other people build it for them. You have to be the one to teach them about it, explain it to them before other people teach them. Okay. So, to effectively discipline a child, you must first build a strong connection with them. Like I said earlier, when it comes to parenting, if you don't invest the time now to intentionally connect with your children while they are young, you will be forced to spend the time later. You'll be forced to spend the time later. So either way, you will still do that time. The choice is whether you will do it now by building connection or later by repairing disconnection. Do you want to repair that disconnection that you didn't have with them when they are older? Or do you want to build that connection with them now so that you don't have to be repairing disconnection older? So that when they're saying, "Why are you calling me?" You'll not be saying, we have parents that are like, "Why is she calling me? I mean, we didn't have this bond. We didn't have this money." You need to make that choice. We need to make that choice. Children listen and learn better when they feel understood and valued. When you make them understand that they are valued, they are important, they will listen and learn better. Yes, children will make mistakes. We need to understand that children will make mistakes. We are not perfect. We as adults, we are not perfect. So our children are not perfect too. They will make mistakes. They will make mistakes. But what is important is we need to use that mistake as teaching moments for them. We need to use it as teaching moments. Of course, there will be consequences for their actions. They need to understand that they are responsible for their behavior. But you also need to know that children will make mistakes. And don't assume, when it comes to children, don't assume that they understand you once. Don't assume that they know what they are supposed to do. You need to consistently repeat yourself. And I think sometimes we don't like repeating ourselves. To be like, "How many times will I tell you to take that toy away? How many times will I?" Okay, when it comes to children, their prefrontal cortex is still developing. So you need to keep at it. You need to consistently remind them. Okay, so if you would like to join we have the tribe. The tribe is a 12-week parent coaching program. This is where we teach different type of skills. We explain it better. We break it down, how you would be able to teach your children these skills. Parenting is not just something to figure out in one session. It's not just in one session. I know that we've been able to pick one or two things in everything I've been saying since morning, but we cannot just figure everything out in this session. Parenting is a journey, and you do not have to do it alone. You don't have to do it alone. You don't have to do it alone. So we are Cohort 2 for the tribe is starting March 30th, and we are inviting you to join. So the payment is 25,000 naira till March 23rd, and from March 24th, it will be 50,000 naira. But because you are in this class today, you have a discounted price of 20,000 naira. Because you're in this class today, you can pay 20,000 naira before March 13th for our 12 weeks parenting coaching program, where we'll be able to treat different subjects. You are going to be getting 2 voice notes every week explaining different skills, and you'll be getting lots and lots of assignments. Yes, let me say it. Assignments that you need to practice with your children, because if you do not practice it, there's no way you will know that you are learning. Things that you have learned today, if you don't practice it, there is no way that it will work. You need to keep practicing. So you can deposit 10,000 naira to book your slots before March 13th. If you deposit 10,000 naira to book your slots, you can pay the balance before March 30th. And even if you pay the balance by March 29, you will still pay 10,000 naira instead of paying 50,000 naira. So you can book your slots with 10,000 naira today. So like I always say, parenting is not about perfection. Parenting is not about perfection. Parenting is about progress, how you are moving. You take it one step at a time. You pick the particular skills you want to teach your child, and you take it one step at a time. So thank you so much for joining us today. If there is any question, please let me know in the chat box. If you have any question for me, maybe there's something you would like to ask that I haven't answered, please let me know in the comments if you have any question for me. Okay. Is anybody asking any question? Okay. Okay, you are welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. And yes, the class is being recorded, and I'm going to post the link in the group for us to, you can keep listening to it and watching it. Okay. Okay. Oh, I learned a lot. Thank you so much. Okay, you are welcome. You're welcome. Thank you so much for joining. It's so good to have you here too. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I think that is the end of the class. We will speak more in the group. Okay, somebody raised their hand. Okay, Alfred Victory has raised their hand. Please, is there something you would like to ask? Please, you can go ahead and ask it in the comments. Yes, thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Alfred Victory, you raised your hand. If you have a question, please, you can ask it in the chat. Okay. Well, yeah, the video will be posted on YouTube, and I will share the link. I will do that tomorrow. Yeah, before tomorrow afternoon. I will paste it in the group. It will be posted on YouTube, and I will share the link with us. Okay. You're welcome. So I think, oh, my husband sent me the link. Oh, thank you so much, Daddy, for sending mommy the link. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much for joining. Where can I see your handle? Okay, the handle is at the Strategic Parents Academy on Instagram. I think, let me type it. The Strategic Parents. The Strategic Parents. Yes. The Strategic Parents. Yes, the handle is at the Strategic Parent on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Yes. Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you so much. So that will be the end of the class. I'll be ending the class now. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you.